Okay, good morning. We are here. We're back again with our YouTube show, and we will be discussing Afghanistan today. I think yesterday Joe Biden made a very lengthy speech, giving the reason for which the U.S. will withdraw from Afghanistan. So we are here to discuss Afghanistan. Strongly believe that the United States have overstayed its time in Afghanistan. We spend a lot of money, the country spent a lot of money, and I think that it's the right time for the United States to pull out of Afghanistan. What do you think?
What's up, guys? I'm glad to be back. Yes, I believe it's time for us to get out there after what 20 years into it.
Yeah, 20 years since 2001.
Yeah,
2001.
Close to 20 years in there, and it's time to go because we're losing too much money, resources, and lives, American lives, over there. But and it's just like happened with the Russians did it, they failed. French did it, they failed.
Yeah.
So and all that, and now China, I'm hearing they wants to go in there and do their thing. So and that's a little concerning to me. But
Why? Why is it concerning to you?
you want me to make a prediction?
Yeah.
Make a guess
Yeah.
what they would do? That's a way of them doing it to really control the region. Is basically is route up all these people into sanctuary camps. Let's call it. Put them in camps. And they're going to say that all these people in here in the camps are vetted and they're safe and everything else. And when outside the camps are a threat, and we just comb the area and just do what we need to do, but keep those people in camps indefinitely. So basically, it's what they did to the northwest of their region. We don't want to get banned if I say about it, but they then pop questions what they do, and so I can see China doing that because they don't really care.
Yeah, but the whole thing, that what I think is, there are a lot of argument in the United States right now between Democrats and Republicans. But if you look taking U.S. troops out of Afghanistan, it was not about Democrat or Republicans. Because I guess that Trump himself wanted to take U.S. troops out of Afghanistan. He initially told the country you're going to take the troops out of Afghanistan.
I think May next year, I think it was, or
Okay.
March. So when he was going to start withdrawing, then Biden came in and he came in and he said, I'm going to withdraw on 9/11, basically. And basically that'd be a symbol of 20 years in there we're pulling out. And I think he got a lot of backlash for it from his handler. I'm just going to say from his handler for saying that. So now he up it to August 31st.
August, yeah.
So by the end of August, we be completely out of Afghanistan. And the thing is, though, there's people there that helped us that they're not going to bring over, like the translators and all that. They were a key factor in there, and we're not going to bring them over, which is, to me, it's wrong. We should pull out, but the people that help us, try to help them bring them back over and everything else, because now they're going to, us there, the Taliban and ISIS can rise up again and take out the people who helped the infidels. No worse.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? People are arguing that the United States or the international community should not pull out of Afghanistan. And the Taliban are making speedy gains militarily on the battlefront, right? But my question is, after training almost 300,000 Afghans, military and security apparatus, spending trillions of dollars to train those guys, what sense does it make for the United States to still be there after 20 years? I'm just saying that those who say that the country should remain in Afghanistan, I think making the wrong argument, because there is no way that we can think that America or Great Britain or Canada can continue to provide securities for the people in Afghanistan when they themselves need to take the destination in their own hands. They need to put the institutions at work, need to solve the problems they have there. Let me just go to my own country, Liberia. From 1990, Liberia in West Africa, we had a bloody civil war, right? The United Nations, the UN, and everybody sent troops over the United Nations, America, and other people, sent international troops to Liberia. They were there for 17 years. At the end of the day, they have to leave because Liberians, the people on the ground, have to take their own destination in their hands. So we can't think that America should stay in Afghanistan forever. They have to leave and give Afghan the chance to solve their own problems, either on the battlefront, which of course they are equipped with all the modern U.S. weaponry you can think about, and they are equipped with all the British hardware you can think about. They need to stand up for themselves and provide security for themselves. And I know they are capable of doing that.
Yes, I agree with that because it happened in the past. During Vietnam, I spoke to my neighbor who was drafted, but at that time he was good with the rifle and all that when he went to training and all that. So instead of sending Vietnam, they sent him to Germany because America was afraid that Russia would take the rest of Germany and doing like that too. So he was there staging at the wall. But he lived through that time, and he told me it's the same thing what we're doing here. Is basically back then they gave the Vietnamese training, weapons, tanks, everything they need. And he told me that the next day they just gave up. They didn't want to fight because we weren't there. So like the idea is that, like you said, that might happen again with Afghanistan.
Yeah.
People don't want to fight, they don't want to stand up, and they don't want to have pride, which is pretty much found upon today here in America. I don't know why, because I am proud to be American and always will be. So, and I know you're probably proud to be an American citizen too.
Definitely.
Definitely. And we take pride, and people just need to rise up and it's don't mean to sound ignorant to deal with the problems on their own. We will help you the best way you can, but you cannot rely on us to be there every time.
Yeah.
Because it's just, we got problems here at home we gotta take care of. We got problems elsewhere, and who knows, we might be back in there due to China's how they do things. So you might go in there and do that. But I mean, so we can give people all the best technology in the world, but if they don't want to fight or use it, then what's the point?
What's the point?
But there's people in there that do want to fight and want the freedom. They want their own government and everything else. But it's going to be a bloody battle for them.
But that's another thing. That's the problem I have, right? The problem I have is with the media, and I know you might not agree with me, but the media amplify Taliban gains. Everything that Taliban does is like the media amplifies it. You know what I'm saying? Now, they're acting as if they are the propaganda machine for the Taliban. The media, the BBC, the VOA, the whatsoever for the Taliban. But I know that the both sides will go to battle on the battlefield, they will want to win militarily. But the war in Afghanistan will have to be in the soft or on two fronts. They got to go to the negotiation table and they'll sit down around the table and negotiate a peaceful solution to the crisis. because there will not be a military solution at the end of the day. And I want to pick it back to my own country, Liberia, my country of birth, because I'm a U.S. citizen now, right? When our warring factions fought for almost 15 years, there was nobody to win on the battlefront. There was nobody to win on the battlefront. It's you capture this place today, tomorrow another people come and take you from that place. Mm-hmm. So it's just place
back and forth,
back and forth, back and forth. Who suffers at the end of the day? The innocent citizens suffer the lack of basic social services and what have you.
And it's not just it's the whole country will suffer too.
Yeah.
Because like for a prime example, is like when you guys are fighting each other, that's at your weakest, because you guys are at each other's throats, and then let's say one side wins, wherever it's done, it's true. You guys are still weak as defense and military because you guys got done wasting your resources fighting each other.
Yeah.
And the same thing here. I mean, America got lucky at the Civil War that the UK didn't come along and say, hey, we're coming back to take back our land, because after the Civil War, we were distraught, basically. We lost so many lives, so many American lives in the Civil War. It's the bloodiest war in American history. Over 700,000 Americans died. Children were in the war. Every man and woman that were innocent. It was bloody, and at the end of the war, we just destroyed everything. But we rebuilt and everything else. But if, like, say, the UK decided to come back, send the full military there, we didn't have the manpower, the gunpowder, or nothing like that back then, because we wasted on each other. It's the same thing that happened like the World Wars, like World War II. That was after the war was the best spot for America, because we're the only nation with infrastructure left, with full function infrastructure. So we rebuilt the world, but they had to buy it from us. Stuff like that, because all their factories, mines, everything got destroyed in the World War II with Nazi Germany. So, like I said, you gotta rely on other people after the World Wars, and it gets devastated. So, but
the way forward for Afghanistan now, for me, is yes, the military got to stand up to the Taliban, which of course they have the capacity to do. But they got to negotiate a peaceful settlement to the war. They got to hold your ground and negotiate a peaceful settlement to the war. What do you think?
But you don't want them to. You got 300,000. After we leave, 100% leave. Who's going to stop? We don't know. Maybe those 300,000 who join Taliban, knowing that they're going to get killed, they don't want to fight, they want to join Taliban there. Then what? Taliban's over 300 strong, with our tanks, planes, weapons, and funding from us, and they start terrorizing the region. I'm saying that's a good possibility that can happen too, and stuff like that. So,
but
it was a big gamble on Americans' part.
But whatsoever the case is, after 9/11, yes, we went into the country and do what we could to run after the how do you call it, Mujahideen, or how do you call it, just don't know the name. We run after them, and that was soft. After that time to this time, it doesn't make sense to still spend trillions of dollars in Afghanistan. It still doesn't. And the point you make, they will terrorize.
We're just going to keep around printing out money. We're good. Nothing's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry. Everything's fine. We'll keep printing out money. You're good.
But the region, you talk about the region, I just heard this morning on the BBC, that's the British Broadcasting Corporation, that Taliban took over the border post, the crossing between Afghanistan and Iran. I hope I'm getting it right. Iran and one other country.
Yeah.
And my thing here is Iran, Iraq, and the other people. If Afghanistan should deteriorate into a real crisis, conflict, more than what they are, it's going to have a ripple effect into the other countries. Who knows? Because all the countries, they are all vulnerable. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Arms going to be going across into Iran, into Iraq, and Pakistan, and what have you. So it's in their best interest, the regional leaders, it's in their best interest to make sure that they can make the Taliban to understand that, look, there is no peaceful solution to this problem. There is no military solution to this problem. You guys got to negotiate a peaceful settlement. All the time, from 1978 or 1988 when the Soviet Union went into Afghanistan, from that time to today, Afghanistan been fighting war. Who's going to come to sit down and say, look, this is the time for us to put a stop to this thing? And I don't think the Taliban, can win on the battlefront unless, even if they win, they're going to still have enough fightings as they've been having before. Different factions, fighting against one another forever.
You mean like ISIS?
Like
ISIS was a small terrorist group with Obama called JV team. When they start rising up, like they're not concerned, because they help us and other factions in there help us fall against the Taliban. So we're getting weapons and everything else. So once Taliban was at that time basically not a big threat, then ISIS started rose in power and then started attacking us. So it's like we don't know. See, the problem is the people need to rise up. You're going to have people that want democracy. You got people who want communism. You got people who want to follow a dictator. So it's going to be constantly fighting, and it's going to be a problem. And it's they've been fighting for how long? Forever. So it ain't much you can really do.
But that's the thing. That's the point. That's another point.
I mean, there's one way of doing it, but it's up to the people if they want it or not.
Yeah.
And it's up to us if we want it or not. And people today are going to say, look, we're colonizing other countries, this and that, blah, 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 blah. We're helping them. So in other words is this, that if all the people in Taliban agree, right, which is not going to happen, but if they agree, and American people who agree to make Afghanistan a U.S. province one, it's not a state, but it's our territory.
That is taking over Afghanistan.
No. It seems like that, but it's our territory. But we're gonna guide them in the right areas and stuff like that, and dealing with the problems they have, and they got a lot of drugs and all that in there, and all laws is no drugs and everything else. That's how it's funded. You can see videos of troops going through fields of heroin, weed, and all that, and so. But if we put like our territory there, it's like it's part of our territory. How is Puerto Rico? It's like our territory.
That's going to inflame. That's going to inflame the whole situation in the Middle East. The Middle East or Afghanistan area, people look at the foreign troops as invader, as threat and stuff.
But like I said, if they agree to it, though,
they're not going to, because that's one of the reasons they are fighting. That's one of the reasons they are fighting. Some of them fighting, United States, Great Britain, Canada, and other Western troops are in Afghanistan. They are occupiers, and they have to leave the country. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me right now. The United States say, okay, we are leaving the country. Why is the Taliban not saying, okay, the U.S. is leaving the country, we are halting all hostility, we're going to go to elections, we're going to solve our problems, right? Why are they taking out arms against innocent civilians?
They want fear.
What's the rationale? So it just tell you that the people have contradictory
They don't want democracy. They don't want democracy. They want to rule with an iron fist.
Even if they don't want democracy, they should want peace and security for the innocent people. That is, even if you're Muslim, you want to get Sharia law, as some of them claiming, not all of them. Some of them claiming they want to institute Sharia law. Let it be at the agreement of the population. It can't be you coming from
But
somewhere.
that's democracy, though.
Yeah,
They don't want that. They want to say you do as I say or else. That's what they're going. They don't want to do the election route, and they don't want to negotiate. They don't want to talk and work things out.
Yeah.
So if they actually do elections and they work things out, then there's no need for them to rise up and start killing innocent people. Correct?
Yeah.
So instead of them, they don't care what you have to say. They don't care what you believe in. They don't care what you want. I'm gonna take what I want. That's it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Just
What you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? If I came around and just took everything, what are you gonna do?
you will stand up for yourself. And
Oh, you're gonna stand up?
everybody will be fighting. That's. But yes, another problem I have is with just with the citizens themselves. You know, everybody is afraid. People are not motivating. Maybe that's just what we hear in the media. Afghans need to motivate themselves, as well as those in big cities like the Kabul and other places. Look, we have the capacity, and show the country. Look, we have the capacity. We will deal with the situation. We will go to a negotiate and we'll negotiate a peaceful settlement to this crisis. But the Taliban is never going to take over militarily. You got to ensure the population, but it's like everybody just feeling that Taliban going to overrun the whole country as soon as the United States pull out by August 31st, which of course should not be. The Afghan government needs to stand up and show its population and make sure that the U.S. military assets they left in the country should not get in the hands of the Taliban.
So here's a question about the inner cities here. A lot of gang violence and everything else in the cities here. People, growing up and everything else, they're scared to go out the doors because of the gangs and all that. And some areas got to wear a certain color for certain gangs and all that because they control the area.
Yeah.
And they go to the young and try to recruit them, and that's all they got. It's the gang violence. What do you tell them? Tell the people rise up here?
No, I'm saying that the government should ensure the people that look. We have the capacity, but I don't think the government is ensuring Afghans that they can withstand any aggression. They're not ensuring
the problem
people.
is though is this. It's the government. Wherever government gets their hands on, they destroy it. Put it that way. They don't know how to run it or anything else. So you expect their government to be 100% legit, like not corrupt at all?
No.
They got 300 strong troops. Listen to the command.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm a dictator now. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Vote me out? I got 300 strong. Would do my orders, my bidding. Then what?
Well, I think, but I think they will be creating more problems for themselves. Because you have the Taliban right on the door, and then you're creating problems within your own circles. That is, the security forces, you're going to divide them, and you will be in more problems. So, and I agree with what Joe Biden said. He said the Afghans themselves, the government itself, has to strengthen its institution and work for its people, provide jobs, fight corruption, and provide basic services to your people. Once you provide those things and you're ensuring the population and you supporting the military as they're already being supported, there is no reason of which bunch of Taliban, the city of 75,000, should overtake Afghanistan with all the billions of dollars that the international community spent in Afghanistan.
I mean, you can, but that's also that needs to be check and balance with that too, because you can't just rely on the government to do everything, because it happened in the past.
Yeah,
it was in Germany after World War I. It was nothing left in Germany. They lost territory. They lost factories. They lost everything. They were growing food on the street. And the political party, Nazi party came in, rose up, started doing stuff for the people, started creating jobs, taking back lands, and everything else. They're doing everything like you said. They're providing jobs. They're providing what the people need and everything else. And they gain more power that way. And look how that turned out.
So
You get what I'm saying?
So what the point you're trying to make? Are you saying
It's
that
it's up to see, like, here's a check and balance around here. See, we got the people, then we got the states. The people vote the states and everything else. Then you got the federal government. Okay. So basically, the federal government goes ahead and, let's say, they pass certain laws people disagree with, everything else. They go to their state representatives and tell them, like, hey, we don't want this to not listen to us. We want to secede from the union. We don't want to be part of this government and everything else. And they're entitled to it. Like people say, you can't secede from the union. You can't secede from the United States. Yeah, you can. If the people of that area, of that state, all vote for it and say, yeah, we want to secede, and the state represent the people, that whole area, it's secede from the United States. So, and that's part of one of the checks and balances there. You become your own government and stuff like that. So, but for them though, it's like they don't have check and balance like we do and stuff like that. See, they got the judge system like we do? Do you got the same justice system like we do? How we do check and balance go up to all the way up to Supreme Court? Do we got their own Supreme Court?
I don't know how the system works, but I think they should have some judiciary there, and there should be a way of solving problems. I don't.
But this in part of their system could be easily corrupt by the government too if they control it.
Oh, definitely.
See, like ours is. Like the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 on the two Arizona cases. 9-0. Say it's allowed, it's illegal, and everything else with the voting rights and everything else. How they do in Arizona. So, but I mean we're so blessed for having the what we went through, fought for, and what we have. And we always want to help out other countries be like us, but they gotta be wanting to, and you can't just rely on the government to do it. Like it happened in the past, it happened around the world. Like our government runs by the people. All government needs the people, regardless.
Yeah.
You need the people. Without the people, you have no military. Without the military, you have no government. You're just a person at a desk with no power, no backing, without the people.
Yeah. But let's talk about the good things that Taliban will find it difficult to do away with. The 20 years that the United States and the international community spent in Afghanistan, they have changed a lot of things. Women going to school, they get professional life. People living their lives not under restriction. If you even take over Afghanistan, you will find it hard to get away with the life those people are getting used to. So which of course I know that they're not going to overtake Afghanistan. I'm 100% sure that Taliban is never going to take over Afghanistan.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
But it's going to be a bloody battle. But like I said, it's up to the people. If they want to keep that freedoms to go out and they want to go out and vote, they can do a lot of things without fear. Well, they have to, and the Taliban want to stop that. Well, you got no choice but to fight for your freedom.
Yeah,
freedom ain't free.
That might not mean with guns. Taliban, you see, that's what most...
Well, that's the thing, though. You can pass laws all you want. The Taliban don't care. Their little group of rebels don't care about your laws and everything else. They're still going to go up.
I'm looking at a hypothetical situation in which Taliban overtake the whole country. That's the situation.
They're not going to take over the whole country.
Okay. They're not going to take over the country. But if they should take over the country, I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate here. They can reverse all of the gains, all of the progress that the country has made. They can. People have gotten accustomed to freedom in big cities. But
they can't.
They will not be able to do that.
If they take over the whole country, basically the people have failed. Like if they actually take over the whole country, like for example, for here, like you gotta take out for America. You gotta deal with the military. Then you gotta deal with civilians. If a invader came here and took over America, for doing that is basically is you pretty much wipe out like 200% of the Americans' population. We have 300 million. Yeah. So you took so you took over 200 million of age well Americans who's able to fight for their freedoms and all that. Then you left basically the young and the elderly are left. Then what? Who's going to fight them? Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
you said
if they take it over, they can still enforce their policies and their ways and for the Taliban. So, like I said, they ain't going to take it over because people will rise up and fight. That ones who wants freedom.
Yeah.
But, if they take over, it's basically we may go back there again.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it. So can we say that the U.S. presence in not U.S. but I don't want to single the United States out, but the international presence, international community's presence in Afghanistan, what we say was a complete waste of time. After 20 years, what can we show? It's almost like the way they went into Afghanistan, that's how they live in, because the country is still not used to solving their problems peacefully. The country is still...
Like I said, Russia did it. They failed. France went in there. They failed. Like all other countries went in there. We went in there and we're pulling out. It's just like... that area, it's hard to fight. They got too many caves. So it's tough to know, and that's the same thing happened in Vietnam because they made tunnels and everything underground and stuff. So like one day, you're going through this one area, and then you're going back again the next day, and you're getting shot in the back because the guy popped out of the tunnel and shot you. So I mean, it's not the normal how we fight wars. Like one guy, one nation versus the other. Like how the old wars fought. Now you got civilian groups fighting guerrilla warfare, basically.
Yeah.
Blending in and everything else, and it's hard for us to know because we ain't gonna start killing people and doing everything else like that. We ain't gonna put you in certain areas and violate it, like stuff like that. We're not majority of Americans and troops won't do that. We don't know what our government thinks, but that's a different story how they want to do things. But if China gets in there, like I said, I can see them pulling that and starting killing, because they execute their people daily. So I mean, China get in there, and they probably say we can clean this up. All right, we're probably gonna say good luck, and they go in there and.
Yes, and make everybody to
probably put them camps and special economic training camps. Trade camps, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But for like Russia, us, UK, France, what when we go there, we trying to hold a symbol how we do things and everything else. And stuff like that. But China gets in there. You tell me this. You think China cares what the world thinks, what they do? No, they do not. They do not, so they're going to do whatever they want.
No, to some extent, they would care, because the thing that is...
Why should they care?
Afghanistan, let me just come back to Afghanistan. Afghanistan and its neighbors...
If also, why do you think they should care about their rights and everything else if they start putting camps?
Because I think the international eyes would be on them.
Okay, but they got the world by the cojones because everything's made in China.
But let's come back to something you were saying about the concentration camps they have in China. I think is it the Uyghur or some groups in some part of China and that
the Uyghurs?
Yeah, but I think the international community, the United States, and other people, and the United Nations
we
are
condemn
saying
them,
that they are condemning them, and they are saying that they got to open that camp up to international observers to go in. China now is becoming an international actor on the international stage, and she has to know that she got to play by the rules.
No, you
International rules. She will say no for now, but at the end of the day, China will do.
China do whatever they want. They don't care. That's the thing. They don't care. They go international waters. They go into people's other countries' waters, and this is our land. It's been our territory since ancient times. They're like, oh no, it has not. What are we doing to stop it? We send our ships through. We send our ships through and show presence, and they're like, okay, you go through, but we're gonna keep what we're doing. What are you gonna do? They're bring man-made islands, and this is all started back to Obama administration. All that we start selling shows up man-made islands and everything else, and we asked China, what are you doing? You know, don't worry about it. Why are you building those islands? Don't worry about it. You know, and we're saying. Don't militarize. Oh no, these islands for research and trade and post this and that. Well, don't put military. Don't militarize it. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, they put anti-ships, anti-air, everything on there for military. They don't care. So when they go into Afghanistan, what do you think they ain't going? I'm telling you, they're going to round up the people.
But if China goes into Afghanistan, which of course I don't know the whole thing about China's involvement in Afghanistan.
But
China should know that she doesn't have that kind of resources to maintain a 20, 30-year war in Afghanistan. It's going to drain her coffers.
They used to have no resources.
They don't have that kind of resources. It's costly, and I don't think it's something that China wants to put herself into.
What do you mean? They keep printing out money. Just keep printing it out. Why not? Here's the money. You want this piece of paper? Go ahead.
Okay, look, you are watching from my point of view. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to first of all thank those of you that subscribe, keep watching us, and we still talking this issue about Afghanistan. We got a few more minutes to end this episode. So let's go back to I'm
just getting started, man.
Let's go back to Biden and Trump. Okay. Trump said you're going to withdraw the troops next April?
No, I mean sometime in May or March.
Of next year?
Of next year. What he was planning to do, then Biden came in and said, well, no, he upped the date. So therefore he gets credit for withdrawing.
So you think it's about credit?
No.
About credit. I think
it's
about everything.
He already got everything planned to withdraw troops. With Trump got there, he had stuff set up, planned to do it. Just Biden moved up the date, so they forced him to act quickly, get stuff withdraw, everything else. And the problem is they're doing it to tell the world, hey, we're moving out. Why you tell the world to slowly move troops out? Slowly, and be less presence, because now you gave the enemies like, hey, we just wait by September the 1st. There's no U.S. troops. We can start attacking.
But I don't think that is a problem. Telling
telling
people, look, we're going to leave on the citizen so dead. Tell them we're going to leave, and you got to start fighting for yourself. You got to start standing up for yourself, and not just fighting.
So that's not a problem.
No. Building your institutions to deal with your own problems. Build your institution to deal with your own problems. We'll be living at this time. I don't think anybody expects the United States to stay this long. So Afghans should be getting themselves ready to take over their own country and take their destiny in their own hands.
No.
That's it. What it happens
next year? I'm telling you. I'm making a prediction. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Within a couple of years, China's going to start doing that. Then the people are going to be begging for America and the world to get involved in there. And what we've been doing with the Regals, with their people. We tell them don't do it, and China still does it. Wow. And that's a problem. And the problem is, though, is this: you guys show aggression to China and stuff like that.
Aggression in what sense? Military aggression? No, we don't
No.
want to go to another war.
Well, if they keep threatening to do with other countries and stuff, and we just send our ships there, ain't doing that. Dock them there. Why not just do this? Because the G7 did this. They all went there and they said an announcement to China. Leave Taiwan alone. Stop being aggressive towards Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what China did the next day? 28 fighter jets through Taiwan's airspace the next day. What do you think? China doesn't care. So what they're going to do in there, they're going to round up the Muslims, they're going to harvest their organs, and everything else. That's what they're going to do.
Well, I don't have enough information on that, in that, but
I'm telling you this is what they're
but
going to
the
do.
whole thing there, here's the thing. China doesn't have the, there are 100 million people, almost, I don't know, maybe 23 or 24 million people living in, I don't know the exact population, but it's something substantial. They can't go and just overtake Taiwan. They can't do that. They're going to be a long, bloody war that's going to drain China's resources and kill a lot of Chinese. I don't think it's something they're ready for. Let me just take this. In Ethiopia went to one of the regions they call the Tigray region. That's 6 million people there. The federal government went there with military force. What happened at the end of the day? After 8 months, the Tigrayan people rise up against the government and they took over the government. If you have almost 6 million people, you want to go overtake the area, it's going to be hard because you'll be sending 6 million military personnel in that place to capture that place. And you don't have that kind of resources. China doesn't have the resources to overtake Taiwan. I don't care what she can do. She don't have the resources. She has more to lose than in Taiwan than she thinks she has.
What do you think they're going to the Afghans for? They're going to rape their resources.
No, I'm talking about you said they overtake Taiwan.
Yeah, I did an example.
Over Taiwan.
Yeah, just an example, because China's been showing aggression to Taiwan. The world leaders, all of them, told China to stop it, and China gave them the big old saying, we do what we want to fire the jets. I'm trying to prove a point where China's at a point is they're so, not say cock, but they got a big pair that they're doing whatever they want. That's the problem, because we're letting them do it whatever we want. That's the same thing. We just tell them, quit, stop it, and he can keep going and going. They're doing what Hitler did. He just kept taking lands, and the world was afraid of another world war, so they said, tell him, stop it, and he just kept taking it, and eventually they had no choice but to go to war with Germany back then. China's doing the same thing. But the problem is they got such a massive force now, and they're really building up their navy and everything else. They really are starting to be a threat for the whole Asian area, and now they're trying to put their dominance around the world. They want to be the world police because they want to be the superpower. That's what they want.
Well, but,
and you got Russia doing whatever they want too. They're firing warning shots at UK ships, and America sitting back and being woke. I'm just saying.
I understand. Those are all provocation, and I don't think we want to go into war with anybody right now.
Well,
and that is not good for the. That is not.
I'm not saying to go to war. I'm just saying we back our allies 100% in saying that if you want to go to war with you, like for example, if your country, I'm your ally, I got you back 100%. If they want to go ahead and go to war with you, well, yeah, go there with me too.
Yeah, but that's why we ensure Taiwan, and China knows that if she goes to war with China and say with Taiwan, it's going to be a long, bloody war for her. America or Great Britain or France or not send troops on the ground.
No,
just
it's this though.
The Mediterranean
it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt America too if we go to war with China, because everything's made in China.
It's going to hurt everybody.
So there's no infrastructure, no factories or nothing here. All medical supplies, it's made in China.
That's a most of America.
I went to the dealership the other day to get my tires and everything else from a truck, right? It's a 2014 standard truck, right? And the reason is I'm gonna keep it till it can't run no more because it got a key and it's standard everything. Cause I'm old school. Cause I'm old. I don't deal with the pushing the button and all that gizmo and stuff like that. I don't have a backup camera because I don't need it. It's called side rear mirrors in there and look back when you drive. Simple. I'm old, but I went there. The thing was empty. The parking lot. I'm like, do you guys have a massive cell or something? They're like, we can't get cars. Why? Chip shortage. Everything, all the chips to make the cars run and stuff.
Yeah.
There's such a shortage that now they got a huge list from. They said what you can buy, what you can't buy. Because back then, a couple of years ago, it's a huge list of what you can buy, what you want on it. You want this package. You want the built-in Bluetooth, or you want the GPA or the Wi-Fi, whatever these cars got these days and stuff like that. Now there's such a big list that they can't even get that now they're talking about going back to basics, back to standards. So, and that's the chip shortage. Everything gets made in China. The chip shortage. So we can't even get our vehicles up and running without asking Beijing for the chips.
Okay, man. Look,
Look, get me all started.
Wait. We're about to end this episode, and any final words you got? But my final word here is the Afghan people, whatsoever they call them, have to take their own. The government has to take its own, fight its own fight, and have to push back the Taliban and make sure that they can not make all the gains that the Americans and the international community made in Afghanistan go to waste. What do you think?
I agree. They need to rise up. They need to get their, need to get everything in order. I'm not trying to sound rude or disrespect, but they need to keep what they dear most is the freedoms that they got so far that they want to keep it, and they gotta fight it, and you better hope your government, the military, will fight for your freedom, fight for you, and everything else. So,
all right, man. Thank you for watching. We'll see you when we see you. Have a good day. Bye bye.
yep.